What's up, everyone? I'm CL Connolly, and today is day 17, my last ceremony that is in my disciples' doctrine. I've read all the prayers. This is the last ceremony, and tomorrow I will be telling you my religion story so that you can understand where I got the idea to start my own cult. I'm not technically starting my own cult. I'm a horror author. I write slashers. I have created my own cult in a 4-book series along with its own Bible. The Disciples' Doctrine is the Bible to my cult. So, so this is the offering to the leader. So in a way, what happens is the outsiders, who are those that are not disciples and they do not follow the Disciples' Doctrine, they actually follow the Holy Bible, which is other books. They also follow like the Quran and, the Mormons and all that other stuff. And I mentioned those in the Disciples' Doctrine, that they all starting off their own religions and everything else aside from the disciples. So the disciples are starting to thin out. And there's not a lot of disciples anymore. There's too many outsiders. So we need to start creating more disciples. They need to start procreating more to create more disciples in order to keep these disciples from defecting and leaving and going out to be outsiders, because that's initially what had happened. Well, that's why now they're being shunned, because there's too many of them just leaving and joining these other religions. No, we need you to stay as disciples. Stop leaving, when nobody notices. This is how this works. We're doing the shunning now. Okay, so now there's an offering to the leader. So any disciple may come in and offer themselves to the leader to become an incubator for new disciples. So this is the offering to the leader. As I stand before the great leader of the city of disciples, I offer myself to you as a vessel in order to conceive an heir to continue your lineage. As leader of the city of disciples, as I have prepared my womb in order to conceive the next leader of the city of disciples, I can only focus on the possibility of the honor of a masculine heir. Shall I not succeed, I do hope that I am still worthy of being the disciple who was able to birth the heir at some time in the future. Please, great leader, take my body and fill my womb with your masculine energy and the next leader of the city of disciples. Okay, as creepy as that sounds, in cults and stuff like that, because the Branch Davidians, the People's Temple, all those things, that there were people that were all like, please just take me, I mean, come on. David Koresh and, all them other ones, they were crazy. And they have people now who are all like, oh my God, this serial killer in prison, I'm going to write him letters because he's so cute. Crazy. Stop. It's gross and it's weird. If you were sane in the head, then you would not be being like, oh my God, I want to do this serial killer. No. Anyway, so they have the option for the disciples. Now, the thing about the disciples, okay, so there is masculine and there is feminine. Anyone can be masculine and anyone can be feminine. Technically, when they call little girls tomboys, they are considered as masculine girls. That's all that they are. So because there is no male or female in the disciples, it is masculine and feminine, and it can be anybody. You can be masculine, you can be feminine, whatever. Now, of course, you have to have a uterus in order to actually be able to bear a child. So there is why they are talking about fill my womb, because that's exactly what they're trying to do. They're trying to, bear a child. So you have to have a uterus in order to bear a child. And that is where that all comes in. So you have to make sure that I'm trying to be as sensitive as I possibly can, because disciples are created equal. You can be whoever you want to be. That's the point. There is no male, there is no female. It is masculine, it is feminine. Anyone can be masculine, anyone can be feminine. It doesn't matter who you are, but there are just certain things of anatomy that are required for certain activities. Like carrying a child. You must have the womb. That's just how that works. Now, granted, my womb does not work, so it does not freaking matter. I would not be offering myself to the leader. There's that. But that's a whole different story, and nobody wants to hear about it right now. I tried to make this as non-gender specific, but in a way of making it gender specific, if that makes sense, because you have to have the uterus in order to offer yourself to the leader. But now it does state that the leader must be masculine. It does not mean that it must be a boy. That does not mean anything. They could have a masculine girl who could potentially end up being the next leader. That's the point. The masculine energy. And the only reason why, and I'm going to tell you this, and it's because society itself says that you must have that masculine air in order for you to get what you want. Problem is, though, is that a masculine female also is treated like trash. So I don't really know exactly how that works. Anyway, going off on a rant because this whole thing really irritates me about society and the way that they follow certain people. But I am trying to make this to where it's a masculine leader. It doesn't have to be a man. You don't have to have dangly bits in order to be a masculine leader. That's all I'm saying. Well, you could have dangly bits, but they could be coming from your chest. Whatever. I think I'm going a little far with this. Anyway, tomorrow I'll be telling you my story as to why I no longer go to church. I do pray to God. I do believe in a God. I just do not go to church because I do not believe in organized religion. Just that. And I will talk about that more tomorrow. Okay, I've gone off the rails on this offering to the leader thing. But anyway, make sure you watch all my other videos and subscribe so you don't miss anything. Okay, bye!